So Duale accuses Raila of hypocrisy in his support for the fight against corruption. He says turning up of Waiguru, Mutua and Ngilu betrays his real intention. Do you share his view? Anne Manyora. He's accusing Raila of hypocrisy because now he's showcasing this is Duale. Yeah. You're not listening. You're on your phone.
No, I was listening.
But why are you asking? What am I asking?
No, I want to hear again properly.
You want to hear properly because you're not concentrating.
Honestly, I didn't hear. Lying is very difficult. You don't know how to. I had Duale speak, of course.
So Duale is accusing Raila of hypocrisy in his support for the fight against corruption. He says turning up of Waiguru, Mutua and Ngilu betrays his real intention.
Onyonka has already said it, but it is politics. And these are politicians. And the Churchill told us very well, for a politician, eating your words never gives you constipation. So saying this today, I mean, to expect politicians to behave in a, you see, look at Trump, look at his tweets. Yeah. One contradicts the other and then and it goes on and on and on. It is in politics, it is in the territory. Everybody, even a kid can see really the presence of Anne Waiguru is really interesting in Kibra.
And there is Trump.
Yeah, there is Trump with his nose, and he never.
It grows.
He never. We have not heard he has gone to hospital for eating his words. So Duale is saying what is normally. It's just true, really, that politicians, even Duale himself, what was he saying about BBI and the referendum the other day? You wouldn't have expected him to be with Ruto. I was even surprised. So politicians, they are really surprised anybody about changing their mind or really saying this and.
Thank you. Okay, let me just read some of it.
Mine is very slow,
yes.
very small. If you take Duale seriously, then you yourself are not serious.
No, Duale is a serious politician.
I don't take him seriously.
He's the third most powerful politician in the country.
Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that he keeps his word.
As the leader of the majority,
that doesn't mean that he
comes
keeps his
after
word.
president and deputy. It's only in matters of succession that Muturi speaker comes third. But in matters of government, running of government, as Ngei would always say.
Unless the message Duale was giving us is that it is President Uhuru, again, who has decided now he's going to bring in the whole Jubilee juggernaut so that they can teach Raila a lesson. So we wait and see the results.
All right. So let's just wind up on it as try and also read some of the tweets that we have here. We have Ndiritu saying we have dysfunctional government that can't prosecute thieves who steal from the public. I wish we could emulate countries like South Korea and China and fight corruption. Also, we have Bolt there saying, if indeed what Mr. Commander Waiguru said about the president being on the side of ODM candidate Imran Okoth, then this will be the perfect example of a true deep state capture. And it's hell-bent in pleasing Raila. What are they hiding? He asks. Also, we have Paxton Omoni saying he should respect the old ones. Ata yeye atafika hapo. We have George Somo saying, okay, he's a frustrated guy as well. This is George Somo saying that our online stream never works. I don't understand why you left YouTube streaming when you don't have the technical capacity. How many times have this been raised by viewers? We're taking note of that, and we are working on it, George Somo, as well.
We are working to bring back David.
So that is what we have on social media. And I was trying to retrieve one that I thought it was addressed to Anne Manyora. But we have Collins also saying that, where is the Collins? I think I've lost it again. Just try and retrieve that a bit so that we can read it. It's taking long to load up. Kibra by-election is a battle of Raila and Ruto. The electorates have been denied the opportunity to elect their MP. Instead, they have been made to rehearse the 2022 presidential election. That is what we have also from Collins Bore. But let me just also turn the crack a bit to BBI, because I think this is just also moving along with BBI as it is right now. We have Governor Martin Wambora, Francis Kimemia, and Kiraito Murungi, and also Ndiritu Murithi from Mount Kenya, who are appealing to the president to publish the BBI report to salvage the country from divisive speculation. First of all, this flies in the face of what these particular MPs were saying as far as BBI is concerned, with one man, one vote syndrome that you are trying to push, Isaac Mwaura. Before even the BBI report is out, So it seems your governors also, they're not also siding with you as far as your pronouncement is concerned last week, part 1.
No, really, that's not the point. The point is that we said, and I don't know why this, you see, in the quest to box people into Tangatanga and Kieleweke, the media is very quick to say, okay, the people that met, wow, this side. No, we were people mixed of different orientations. There are those who are really Tangatanga, there are those who are Kieleweke, there are those who are neutrals, and something in between there. The Mount Kenya region is very interesting, and I think you remember I even wrote an article for the Star, for last weekend, about what is the implication of the BBI report with regard to the universal suffrage, with regards to the value of the vote. And BBI, when you see governors speaking, they also want to see whether there's another tier. Who are the governors speaking here? You have very seasoned politicians. Wambora is serving his second term, and even those who are serving their first term, what is the alternative? So what we are saying is that, and we said in that press statement, is that we will read the report. And you remember, even when we began, my first comment here was that BBI will cause a lot of realignment. There are certainly people who are in Tangatanga you will see under BBI. Because somebody like Duale, the way he's speaking, he is for expanded premiership. If, for example, Tangatanga were to take a target against BBI, then you don't expect him to be there. But at the same time, remember, you cannot swear and say that Mudavadi cannot be a running mate to Ruto. Just like you wouldn't have said, and Dr. Jikali, you're here, when Raila was reading to us about the case that Waiguru had taken Raila to court, at Waiguru anaguriwa, you remember those kind of things sometimes back. So what is happening is that you will find a situation where, if, for example, Tangatanga said, we are also supporting BBI, it will be a no-show. Then it will be an anticlimax. Because if it serves Ruto well, he may also do the same. So until the report is out, we see what is being proposed. What is the route? Are we going the referendum way? Are we going through the parliament initiative? Like, one of the things that people have been construing, which I also came to learn recently, is that if you look at Article 255(1), the structure of the executive is not mentioned as to occasion a referendum. You see? If these same papers are also saying now there's a referendum law, and thank God, through COIC. So we also have a committee with Okongo Mugeni, who didn't make it today, that is bipartisan from both parliaments. I see a situation where we'll have a parliamentary initiative, and people will really want to piggyback on uncontentious issues, and the contentious ones can then be provided for as a question during the main election in 2022. So if a BBI report favors the interests of MPs to become cabinet secretaries, if it favors governors to have a 3-tier government, if it favors the wannabe presidents to have an expanded presidency, it will actually pass. I can assure you. Because politicians are aspirational. And that's why we are saying in Mount Kenya, we want to see the BBI report to see what is our stake. Right now, we do not have the interest of the presidency as such. What are we getting? Hata ukinyang'anya mtu unamrushia kitu bwana.
All right, Regional Nyonka.
I just want to tell my brother Manyora that, every time we politicize anything and using a tribal telescope, it makes us lesser. I do not want the people of Central to think that there are exceptional circumstances under which they fall into. After all, Manyora, you've been having the presidency for the last 50 years. So there isn't anything you should even complain about.
Not 50 years.
Central has held this
years.
thing continuously since I was born until now. I'm an old man. I'm soon going to be a grandfather. And they're busy saying how they have never got anything. They keep talking about how there's no development in Central, how they don't have anything, or their people are not getting jobs. We can sit and list the people from Central who have gotten those jobs, but that's not where we want to go. What we are saying, Manyora, and please tell your friends, give this thing chance so that we can look at it. We are all educated. You're a clever guy. I'm a clever guy. This man is a professor. Dr. Nyika, we are not idiots. And don't ask us to do for you what even you yourselves have not been able to do for yourselves. There's nothing we are going to give you as a country. You have had the presidency 3 times. If you didn't achieve what you wanted, please stop there.
Calm down.
My friend Nikal, where in this country do people die from hunger and are paraded on TV, international TV? I tell you, it is Baringo, It is the North Rift, and Moi was president for 24
years.
years. Do you know in Gatundu, Gatodo,
People have got
they are
jiggers.
jiggers? It's called what they call be?
Yeah,
Yeah, those things. In Gatodo,
Dutu.
Mode, there is a better one. Mode Jomo Kenyatta was president for a good 15 years. And Uhuru has been there
10.
for like 7 or so years. So Kenyans had better know the presidency brings nothing to them other than misplaced pride. You know, thinking you have it. You don't even have it.
After all, also Kiambu,
Yeah,
Gatondo
so-
is a marginalized area.
Yeah,
as
they-
it is.
they are
Yes, it's an it's an arid and semi-arid land.
Exactly.
But I want
Has
to
been
point out
listed,
to Manyora.
surprisingly.
Maura.
That is there.
My friend, Deba, I want Manyora to listen, Isaac Manyora. I was in Kitale the other day. After we had talked here, following day I went to Kitale. I was some little work there. And you know, I found Luya for the first time in Trans Nzoia saying they have been marginalized by the other communities who have been in power in those areas. And what led them to that? Your statement. Your statement, unknowingly, Manyora, will reintroduce the 2007 1 versus 47. Because people are saying, what? Are you telling you, as Manyora and these people have not had enough, still want this thing that badly, that when we make our laws, we change our laws, we look at our constitution, we must only look at the constitution in a way that ensures
Their
they
interests
perpetually remain in power. And that narrative, Manyora, is dangerous. Do not give in a multi-tribal society, multicultural society such as ours. Do not give a vast majority of the groups or cultural groups or tribes the feeling then that they will never ever get it. I don't want to point somewhere in Rwanda that's what brought problems. Don't give the impression that it will be impossible for others to get. Let them have hope, even if they are not getting it tomorrow, after even 100 years. But if you are asking us to dim that hope, that anybody else somebody from Kisii like Onyonga can be president, it is a dangerous narrative. Please, Manyora, the next press conference is for you to withdraw that and explain to Kenyans.
Thank you.
We have had it. We want to thank you, Kenyans, for giving us the president for all this long. We will still want it in future. Even now we want it. But we are not going to make laws that make it impossible for any other group to get. And if others are making laws, if we are making laws that opens it a little more, we shall not stand
All right,
in the way.
let's get our headline thoughts as
Can
we're
I-
winding up,
can I-
please.
can I respond?
Could we hear from you? We'll come to you, Isaac.
You know, when I look at the handshake and BBI, if we look at what is written down and what in my mind I thought we were looking at, if you take the issue of corruption, you take the issue of tribalism, you take the issue of electoral processes and this winner takes all, it really doesn't matter which group is in place, the country as a whole suffers. So I would have thought that the best thing to look at this BBI, how does it help us to solve those issues? But to reduce it to a situation where you are saying, if it comes, then we shall not be able to get the presidency, I say central. Central, really, they are not being fair to this country. If we look at the indices of development, you look at even the tarmac road population, if you look at the distribution of health staff, health personnel,
Yes.
even before devolution, per population, if you look at the infant mortality, they are of developed states, the developed countries. If you look at life expectancy, if you look at the disease pattern, everything is showing the development. They can't then turn around and say, if this thing comes, we'll not get. We must start saying, and this is what I thought BBI we would look at, how can it unite Kenya? How can every Kenyan feel
Thank you.
that if you have this thing, I'm
We'll-
safe?
we'll
so
wait
that
for
you
it.
don't do what Professor
We'll
Manyora
wait for the
said,
report. Thank
the
you.
lawyers start feeling that we are also marginalized. We should unite
Right.
Kenyans.
Okay. Oh, Isaac, before you answer, also we have Eddie Avia asking, ask Manyora, what makes him feel that Mount Kenya people must have a say in the next government because of them being the largest community, even as you also give your headline thoughts.
Thank you, Deval. Everybody wants to be in government. If that were not to be the case, the handshake would not have happened. In fact, today, people in ODM say, sisi ndio serikali. And you can even say sometimes they even have more information than people who are in Jubilee. Because being in government is really a feeling. And by the way, Richard Onyonka, that is exactly what the people of Central Kenya are saying. If you listen to me carefully, you realize we could actually be speaking the same language. They are saying, we have had this presidency. It's like we don't want it. It's like we don't want it. But also we would want to have an arrangement where our interests are secured. And the interests are secured how? Of course, if you expand the executive, for example, maybe one of them should be somebody from Mount Kenya region, and that's a legitimate expectation. I think we cannot back down on that one, because even others would want to do the same. But also, number two, look at the new form of marginalization, where you have somebody in Turkana getting 2.5 times what is being given to Kiambu per capita to the monies that are going to devolution. So it doesn't matter who is the president, that is going to be perpetual. If you look at the number of constituencies, and you see the representation of the average of 67,000, against the number, and it's very simple. Go to the IEBC, look at the number of constituencies, look at the number of voters. It will tell you a story, a very interesting story. And that story is also not just resident. Let me finish.
Finish. We are winding up, please.
Yeah, it's not just resident in Central. It affects Kisii, it affects Western, it affects Luo Nyanza, it affects some parts of Mombasa, and it's a conventional we must have. And then finally, the issue of this idea that if Kikuyu speak, they are tribal. If we speak, we are protecting the interests of our community. That one I want to disabuse. We also have a right to speak.
Mwaura,
Right,
I want to help Mwaura. Mwaura, you were told to go and make presentations. Did you?
Yes.
Then why are you making
No,
noise?
but we are just
Let us
saying,
wait. Let us
we'll
wait.
These are our
No,
irreducible minimum.
Why are you preempting this thing?
No, you also say. You
we
also
all-
say.
Let him finish.
Yeah.
You had a hand opportunity to make presentations to the BBI, you know.
You will also say that the two
Why?
secretaries are Kikuyus, Mwambi and Kimani.
Just
We are
Mwaura,
not saying that
you're out of
Kikuyus.
order.
We are not saying that Kikuyu should not raise these issues. What we are asking you is this: you made that presentation? Yes. There are people who feel till today that even the equalization fund has not even worked and helped them.
Then what is the problem,
What
Richard?
we
Wait for the report.
what we are saying is, can you
And read
imagine?
it.
Can you imagine our 42 tribes, all of us going on TV and saying, unless my tribe is given an opportunity to be president,
So are you trying to
then
say?
let's give a president.
Thank you. Mwaura, you're out of order,
Let's get
please.
a president to be president
Thank you,
for
thank
a
you,
month
Yonka.
every year.
Thank you.
Are you
So
trying
that we get
to say
47
Kikuyu should not be the next government?
Aman Manyora,
No,
closing
you're
remarks.
going to be, but
Yes, we will
please.
be.
Richard Onyonka, Mwaura, please, you're out of
senior
order.
citizen on this
So even
matter,
Richard is out of
order.
order.
as a senior citizen, I must be allowed to say that we must live in this country knowing that this is our country, all of us. Let nobody have a sense of entitlement. Let nobody feel victimized. Let nobody feel harassed. And when we make our laws, let's make laws for the future. Let's make laws that will be good for us when we are not in power.
Thank you.
And it's in the interest of certain people, where Mwaura comes from, to know that a peaceful Kenya actually favors them more than
Exactly.
anyone else.
Thank you. Thank you.